Hi everybody, I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Calvin here with just an update on what's going on weather-wise. We had a pretty active morning. We've had a pretty active early afternoon, especially for areas south of the city. The good news, though, is that things are starting to wind down, although there is still a lot of cloud cover out there. This is a shot from 610 and I-10, the Harris County OEM office. We're looking southeast in this view, so there's downtown in the distance. And then just a lot of cloud cover here as a backdrop. That being said, we're still at 91 degrees at Bush, so temperatures came down a little bit with the rain earlier, and then they're right back into the 90s right now. And it feels like a sauna outside. Dew point of 73, really high humidity, so our feels like temperature is pushing 100 degrees right now. All right, let's get to radar, and we'll just do a little bit of an overview of what's happening right now. We had a lot of popcorn-style thunderstorms develop south of the interstate around 12 o'clock this afternoon, and those have been ongoing for the last few hours. Areas to the north didn't see quite as much activity. It was definitely more so focused here across our coastal areas, and this is where we've seen some pretty feisty storms over the last 2 hours. No warnings so far, but we have had special weather statements pop up just for the indication that a storm is just below severe limits. So let's take a look at what's going on here. This is down towards, again, the coastal areas. Notice where we have all that lightning, all of that activity here pushing out towards the east. At first, it was down towards the Sugar Land area. Again, really big downpours. Nothing severe, though, but it is now starting to drift out towards the League City area and now out towards Galveston Bay. In for a closer look here, I want to show you, these are the storms that actually produced some gusty winds up towards Kemah. We had some reports of pea-sized hail as well. And we talked about this being a potential for today, the potential that we could see maybe some feisty storms, maybe some damaging wind gusts, although the threat is a lot lower than it was with yesterday's storms. And I think part of the reason for that is just because these came in a little bit earlier. Yesterday's storms waited till 3, 4, 5 o'clock when the atmosphere was totally primed, for severe potential. And with these storms coming in a little earlier today, the atmosphere didn't quite get to that potential. So as we pause the time here, we'll pause the clock and we'll just give you an idea of what things look like right now. Some pretty heavy rain just to the south of League City, pretty much between League City and Galveston over the Gulf Freeway. Couple lightning strikes. Here's a feisty storm here, a big bunch of lightning there just to the south of Alvin. No warnings, though, at this point. As we switch over to our our lightning counter, just in this image alone, nearly 200 lightning strikes in the last 10 minutes. So pretty electric storms, the ones that have developed. Even though they've been below severe limits, they've really produced quite a bit of lightning here across the area. Checking to see if there's any hail within these storms. We haven't really seen anything impressive so far. Got to wait for this to load, but I don't think anything's really showing up. So these storms are all behaving for the time being. I was kind of looking down here for that one storm that was producing a lot of lightning south of Alvin, but I don't see any indicators that we could be seeing any small hail with that storm. So we go back to our regular radar shot and we take a look across the rest of the area. Let's get up to the city, into the loop, and just see what's going on up here. And you can see we have a downpour now that just flared up on the east side of downtown. So places like River Oaks, Galleria, Montrose, you're all dry. Edo, though, is a totally different story. We'll do a little bit of an investigating with this storm here and get in for a closer look. You can see this just kind of blew up in the last 10 minutes. And that's really been the nature of these storms today, is they blow up fast and they make a little bit of noise for a couple minutes and they just kind of fall apart. So places like Beaumont Place, Channelview, heads up. You've got this storm moving in your direction right now. All right, zooming out and taking a look back up to the north, areas like Huntsville, Conroe into Grimes County, you're all quiet for the time being. Now, we do have this outflow boundary here that's racing into Columbus. Typically, these kinds of outflow features would spark off the potential for more storms and more downpours. I just think the atmosphere is so worked over for a lot of the area that we're not going to see too much from this. And if we do see anything, I do think it's going to stay below severe limits. So that's just kind of an overview of what's going on right now. Just to go back to these storms, though, we did actually see the report, believe it or not, of a funnel cloud. This was in the Alvin area. Let me get this down. Santa Fe. So this was a mile southwest of Santa Fe. That we actually have video that was sent to the National Weather Service that confirms this. It was a very skinny rope-like funnel cloud. We don't think that it made it to the ground, which is the differentiating point between a funnel cloud and a tornado. A tornado is basically just a funnel cloud that makes it to the ground. And then a funnel cloud is one that doesn't, stays up in the air. But just to give you an idea of the nature of these storms, it's a really tropical atmosphere, so it doesn't take a lot for those clouds to come all the way down from the base of the storms. But again, no damage has been reported. And I know that us here at KHOU, we're actually working on getting our hands on some photos and videos as well. As we go through the rest of the day, any storms that could get going, they do run the risk of becoming strong to severe, but it's a very low risk. If you remember yesterday, we were in a level 2, that yellow coloring for a severe threat. Today, it's just a green level 1. It's the lowest potential for severe weather, and it is mainly for damaging wind and some hail. Over the next few days, though, the rain chances stay steady in the at least scattered to widespread ranges, 70–80%. That'll keep temperatures just a few degrees cooler, I think close to normal in the upper 80s and low 90s. So here it is on Future Track. By 11 o'clock tonight, we're trending drier. I think between now and then, though, we could work out a few downpours and storms. Future Track is really struggling with this, so there's not much to show you in terms of pinpointing who may see storms or when. Just keep in mind, probably about a 40% chance going through the rest of the evening for a downpour or storm. Now, as we get into tomorrow morning, I think we start off dry for the early morning hours, but by mid-morning, we start to see the development of more downpours and storms across the area. And with the ground being as saturated as it is, there is that threat of maybe some high water spots on roadways, maybe some of the usual culprits that deal with flooding running into issues. I don't think this is going to be a bayou flooding problem for us, but maybe some of the smaller creeks and streams could start to run a little bit high in their banks, especially if we get something like this where storms develop and redevelop over and over the same spots. This is where we could get into some problems, especially in the urban areas, in the immediate city of Houston and some of the other smaller cities around the metro. Again, a lot of concrete, poor drainage areas, you know the drill. By tomorrow night, though, things start to wind down, but we will be watching storms from central Texas. Now, keep an eye on the left-hand side of the screen and watch what happens. This is around 4 o'clock in the morning Thursday. This model portrays a pretty decent squall line coming in from central Texas. Now, the good thing is that because it's early morning hours, there's not going to be a lot of fuel for us to sustain this line as it moves in, and so the model does weaken it quite a bit. That being said, we're talking morning commute here, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So if this pans out, you're talking about a wet drive to work, probably a slow go on some of the roadways as well. I don't think flooding is going to be a huge concern because it's going to be so fast moving, but it will be something to put a wrench in our plans Thursday morning. But I do think as the day goes on Thursday, we see improvements, and by the evening, we actually may turn clear and pretty nice, at least for a short period of time. And then getting into Friday, we start off dry, but I think we'll work in the chance for a few spotty downpours and storms by the afternoon. So there's how rain chances shape up the next few days. Again, 70–80% chance at least through Friday. I think we see a little bit of a drop by Saturday and the weekend, but it's not really till next week that we start to see some improvements. So on the 7-day forecast, we've at least highlighted tomorrow and Thursday as days to watch. Days that'll probably feature the most widespread rain chances across the Houston area. Parts of tomorrow and Thursday may feature weather impact alerts as we get better model data in here and if there's a change in the severe threat with these storms. But right now, they're just days to have an umbrella handy. We may end up adding Friday to that list as well. But by next week, notice rain chances go from 80% to 50 and 60%. Not great for Father's Day, but I don't think they're total washouts. I think it'll just feature the chance for scattered downpours and thunderstorms. So again, it's Wednesday and Thursday that we're really going to keep an eye on for in the immediate future. That's an update on the forecast. That's an update on radar. Of course, we'll have more if anything develops in terms of severe potential. And of course, we'll have a breakdown on your full forecast with the newest information from Future Track. That's coming up on the KHOU 11 News at 4 o'clock, and I hope to see you there.